Welcome everybody to another edition of Historical Geocaching on the Road with geocacher Tan Funbug from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Today is very, very exciting. It is fall break. I'm so excited for a few days off of college, and today my family and I are headed over to Raccoon Mountain just west of Chattanooga. And I've been there before. It's going to be exciting. There's supposed to be like a TVA visitor center as well as a reservoir and some geocaches and definitely some incredible views of the Tennessee River Gorge. It's going to be especially cool to see that in the fall time with all the gorgeous fall colors we have now. So come along with us as we go geocaching on Raccoon Mountain. Okay, we're here at the TVA Visitor Center here at Raccoon Mountain. Looks like that's a neat turbine we're going to have to check out maybe a little later. Here's the museum. There's this really cool electrical structure thing we're going to have to figure out. This looks just a really cool place. This here is a Francis type reversible turbine. I found out it's deep inside the Raccoon Mountain pump storage plant. There are 4 giant turbines like this one. They play a big part in helping TVA generate electricity for the Tennessee Valley. When extra power is needed, water is released from the reservoir located on top of the mountain. The water spins the turbines, which in turn spin the facility's generators. When TVA doesn't need the power from Raccoon Mountain to meet the power demand, the turbines spin in reverse, pumping water back into the mountaintop reservoir when it's ready for the next time extra power is needed. That's really cool. And over here looks like something that's really, really cool. I'll show you the little top of it. Here, let me show you. Look at all of that here. Let me show you over live view. Beautiful fall color there. That's neat. I don't know what that is about. Maybe we might have to find out soon. There's that structure that I just showed you. Here's a really cool sign. It says, "Welcome to Raccoon Mountain Pump Storage Facility." Here's a little history of TVA. From flooding to prosperity, a short history. In the early days of the Tennessee Valley, floods were a normal and often devastating part of life. On average, at least one heavy rainstorm each year would cause the Tennessee River to crest its banks, forcing millions of gallons of water into the valley's narrow mountain passes and flooding the region. While early Native Americans avoided the valley's seasonal flood areas, later settlements, including Chattanooga and other cities along the river, suffered repeated and often devastating losses from flooding. The floods would wash away entire farms, destroy many homes, and take hundreds of lives. The largest flood, which occurred in 1867, crested at an astonishing 58 feet and completely submerged the city of Chattanooga. When Congress established the Tennessee Valley Authority in 1933, one of its primary objectives was to stop the flooding that had plagued the area for decades. And TVA got right to work building a series of dams along the Tennessee River and its tributaries to control the flow of water. Today, during heavy rains, TVA dams hold back the excess water and prevent it from rushing into the cities. When the rain has stopped and the threat of flooding has passed, the water is gradually released downstream and reclaimed for drinking and electric power generation. Environmentally environmental sustainability and recreational use. It's been estimated that TVA's efforts have prevented more than $6 billion in flood damage over the years and contributed significantly to the economically thriving cities you see around the Tennessee Valley today. Here it says, Raccoon Mountain is a pumped storage hydroelectric plant that produces more than 1,650 megawatts of electricity. It is part of the Tennessee Valley Authority's region-wide power generation and transmission system. TVA also operates 29 other hydroelectric plants, which together produce about 11% of the electricity generated by the TVA power system. Construction on Raccoon Mountain began in 1970 and was completed in 1979. The site, which is approximately 3,000 acres, was designated as a wildlife observation area in 1986 by the state of Tennessee. It received certification as a wildlife habitat as well as the National Habitat Conservation Award from the Wildlife Habitat Council in 2001. The Visitor Center overlook offers a breathtaking panoramic view of the river below and is an excellent site for bird watching. I should point out that that's where we're going to be headed soon because there's an earth cache there. But anyway, Laurel Point is a popular picnic area, which you might be going there too, and recreation area, which includes trailheads for biking and hiking, a softball field, and a children's playground. Here's the map and photo. Tennessee Valley Authority, our enduring mission. TVA has a rich history of improving quality of life and economic prosperity for people and businesses in the TVA service area. Down through the years, as times have changed, TVA has changed with them, updating and refining its focus to better serve its enduring mission in affordable electricity, economic development, environmental stewardship, integrated river system management, and technological innovation. TVA's renewed vision is to be one of the nation's leading providers of low-cost and cleaner electricity by 2020. More specifically, TVA intends to be the nation's leader in improving air quality, the nation's leader in increased nuclear production, and the Southeast leader in increased energy efficiency. Here's the little thing talks about actually how Raccoon Mountain itself works. Putting water to work. Gas, coal, and nuclear power plants create much of the electricity we use every day. But when energy demands are unusually high, like cold winter nights when everyone runs the heat or hot summer days when they blast the AC, Raccoon Mountain Pump Storage Facility uses water to create the extra electricity that the Tennessee Valley needs. This type of water is called hydroelectricity and is generated through a complex system of reservoirs, tunnels, turbines, and generators. On most days, when the demand for energy is low, Raccoon Mountain is quiet. During this downtime, water is pumped from the Nickajack Reservoir at the base of the mountain to the mile-wide upper reservoir built at the top. The water is stored here until power demand reaches its peak and Raccoon Mountain is called into action. As the water is released from the upper reservoir, it rushes 1,000 feet down to turbines deep inside the mountain, bringing a tremendous amount of force with it. These turbines spin generators that produce electricity in our underground power plant, supplying the Tennessee Valley with the extra 1,650 megawatts of power at a moment's notice. That's enough power to keep nearly 900,000 homes running strong and to help TVA maintain one of the most reliable power systems in the country. Here's a little diagram I'd like to show you. The switchyard, we're at the visitor center right there, and the reservoir that I just showed you. And then the water goes all the way down there to the turbines and out to the Tennessee River there. Okay, I'm coming over here. That was really cool learning about how TVA and Raccoon Mountain works. And here I am heading to the overlook where there is an earth cache and also where you get to see an incredible view of the Tennessee River. Okay, let me show you this. This is awesome. Here we go. Look at that. That is just incredible. Incredible views. I'm going to have to get some pictures here. And the earth cache here is just very simple. I'm going to complete those requirements. And I'll check in with you in a little bit. Okay, I'm now in the visitor center here. Let's see what we can find. This is cool. this. Oh, that's gold deer right there. More stuff about TVA's history, which is really cool. I'm gonna have to read it. Okay, here I read some of this, which are really cool videos on TVA history and what they do here at Raccoon Mountain. Really amazing. All the stuff that's underground, how they give power. Anyway, Valley of Hardships. Before the existence of TVA, the people of the Tennessee Valley suffered extreme adversities. This was the era of the Great Depression. While Americans across the U.S. struggled with high unemployment and financial strife, those in this region faced an alarming amount of extra troubles. The punishing Tennessee River continually flooded homes, farms, and entire towns and stripped the land of fertile soil. Primitive farming practices made crop production even more difficult. In addition, fires destroyed 10% of the region's rootlands every year, and river navigation was continually dangerous, if not fatal. To make matters worse, diseases such as malaria, hookworm, smallpox, and typhoid fever took the lives of young and old alike. Possibly worst of all, everyday life was tremendously hard on everyone because the valley, because of the lack of electricity. These were desperate times. New Deal and the birth of the TVA. A new day was on the horizon. As governor of New York, Franklin Delano Roosevelt wanted to use dams to create affordable power for his state. His idea caught the attention of Nebraska Senator George Norris, who would recommend a similar plan for the Tennessee Valley to produce power and control flooding. Senator Norris also saw the untapped potential of the Wilson Dam, located in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. The dam had been used to power plants that made nitrate a key ingredient of soil fertilizer. If more effort could be put behind the production of fertilizer, it could help spur the production of crops in the Tennessee Valley as well. Norris and Roosevelt worked to make the Tennessee Valley Plan a reality. In 1933, Roosevelt, now President of the United States, initiated the New Deal, a program designed to help lift the U.S. out of the Great Depression. As a result of these New Deal initiatives, Roosevelt signed the TVA Act. The Act created a new government agency called the Tennessee Valley Authority, or TVA. Its job was to tackle three important needs of the Tennessee Valley: flood control, improved river navigation, and better agricultural processes. Controlling the river also brought another benefit: the generation of hydroelectric power. It was a step that would soon change the lives of the people forever. It looks like some goggles or something. Let's see. Building a new future. In 1933, TVA started construction of its first dam called the Norris Dam on the Clinch River, and with the pounding of hammers and steel came the beginning of a new prosperity in the region. TVA's employment roles totaled 9,000 people in 1934, and by the end of the major construction period in 1944, that number had grown to more than 50,000 workers who had completed work on 16 dams, one of the largest U.S. hydropower construction programs ever. These dams helped control flooding and improve navigation. Locks allowed ships to pass from one dam to the next along a 650-mile channel from the Ohio River to Knoxville. As a result, river trade increased more than 400% in just a decade. What followed was an economic transformation of the Tennessee River, leading to more jobs, more growth, and a renewed hope. TVA goes to war. During World War II, the U.S. government needed to provide huge amounts of electricity for the plants that supplied metal to bomb and plane manufacturers, and TVA came through. It quickly expanded its hydropower construction program, at one point building 12 hydroelectric plants and one steam plant simultaneously. I just butchered that word pronunciation. This helped the U.S. to build 50,000 planes for the U.S. Army Air Forces, an important factor in the war effort. TVA also provided millions of kilowatts of energy needed for uranium enrichment at Oak Ridge, Tennessee, site of the secret Manhattan Project, the program that produced the first atomic bomb. The effort was a triumph for America and a major victory for the people of the Tennessee Valley. A valley transformed. By the end of World War II, TVA's presence in the Tennessee Valley had completely changed the land and its people. A new outlook and a new prosperity had spread to the residents and its businesses, and new ways of life had taken root. Flood control was now much improved, with 16 new dams constructed throughout the region. The agency had successfully completed a 650-mile river navigation channel too, one that stretched the entire length of the Tennessee River. But the most life-changing development for the people here was the production of electric power. Electric lights and modern appliances made everyday living easier, and electricity drew new industries to the region, helping provide needed jobs. This here talks about specifically Raccoon Mountain, and here let me read this. What is the Raccoon Mountain Pump Storage Plant? TVA's Raccoon Mountain facility is a pump storage plant that uses the flow of electricity to create electricity, the flow of water to create electricity for the Tennessee Valley. TVA built the plant to make its entire power system even more reliable. For example, during times of peak power demand, on the coldest morning of the year when everyone runs heaters, on the hottest afternoon when they use air conditioning full blast. The Raccoon Mountain facility helps to generate the extra power needed. The plant can generate an incredible 1,532 megawatts of power for the Tennessee Valley, enough to power about 900,000 homes. And that power, coupled with 16,000 miles of transmission lines, has helped TVA maintain power reliability at 99.999%. How this plant was built. The construction of this 300 million plant began in 1970 and started with the creation of the lake, or man-made reservoir, on the top of the mountain. That's the one that we just saw a little bit ago. What did it take to do that? About 1,000 workers and the removal of an astonishing 10 million cubic yards of earth. It's a big lake too, capable of holding more than 12 billion gallons of water. And the dam that contains the water, TVA's largest rock-filled dam, is 230 feet high and 8,500 feet long. Below your feet are two giant tunnels as well, one built for personal access and one built for the water used to generate electricity. And a plant like this must be easy for workers to navigate too, so 12,000 feet of tunnels were dug throughout the lower part of the mountain. It says a concrete water intake structure. I think we saw that on our way to the visitor center here. At one end of the reservoir can drain thousands of gallons of water 1,200 feet below a concrete pipe or penstock in just a few hours. The intake, containing 117 rectangular openings, each 8 feet wide by 16 feet high, is around 80 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. Let's see. After 8 years of tough construction, the Raccoon Mountain plant opened in 1978, and at that time was one of the only handful of pump storage facilities in the nation. The National Society of Professional Engineers even named Raccoon Mountain one of America's most outstanding engineering projects. One reason why it's impressive is its immense size. Deep inside the mountain are tunnels leading to space the size of a football field, which was carved entirely out of solid limestone. This space houses the plant's 4 Alice Chalmers pump turbines, which use the force of flowing water to turn the generators that create electricity. How Raccoon Mountain fits into the TVA system. This facility is the only pump storage plant in the TVA system, but it helps enhance all the other facilities in the system as of 2010, including 29 hydroelectric dams, 11 coal-fired plants, 11 combustion turbine sites, 3 nuclear plants, 16 green power switch sites that use wind turbines, methane gas, and solar panels, 3 combined cycle combustion turbines. Quick facts: Raccoon Mountain's 4 turbines can generate 1.6 million kilowatts of electricity. At times of higher demand, this power serves people throughout the TVA's 7-state service area. Once demand is met within the TVA system, surplus electricity may be sold to other electric systems that need supplemental power. The electricity generated by this plant can provide 22 hours of continuous power. When needed, the plant generates 14 times more power than the nearby Chickamauga Dam. I don't know if you've seen it, but I had a video this past June. My dad and I went up to Chickamauga Dam. That's pretty impressive. My Earth Caching Madness video, I'll have to put a link to that in this video's video description. All the power produced by TVA travels through approximately 16,000 miles of transmission lines and a network of over 150 local power distributors reaching 9 million people and 650,000 businesses throughout the Tennessee River. Here's a cool map. Okay, there's the visitor center. Really fascinating place. Some really nice TVA retirees were able to tell us a lot of cool stuff. Also, all the plaques and the informative signs in the videos. Here is the Grand Canyon of the Tennessee River Gorge. And it is just gorgeous. I know it may be hard for you to see, it's hard for me to see. But just gorgeous here. Okay, so there is an earth cache here called Stolen Waters Earth Cache, and all you have to do is send the cache owner, the titles on the 3 signs here, which of course I'm not going to show you, but so it's a really easy one. Great view here, so I'm completing an earth cache. We're going to continue on, see what other fun things might be up here. And here we're just across the street from the visitor center. Now looking at the Raccoon Mountain reservoir that they have up here on the mountain. It's really, really cool. Another neat view, overlook. That right there is the intake structure, which is taller than the Statue of Liberty. Actually, that's how they take water into the mountain, then put it out into all the underground, or how they'll pump it back up in. And there's also a geocache here, and my family and I were going to go try to find it. So we'll see what happens. Here we are, the Raccoon Mountain Forest. Just did find that cache, which is actually surprising considering I don't find a lot of the caches that I searched for. But this was a fun one, easy one, not too much bushwhacking. I have had several trackles I need to drop off, and so I was able to drop those off, get some pictures. This is just a real fun one. It's not too bad. I'll definitely put a link to it on the video, or on my blog. A link to this cache is a really fun one called Reservoir Overlook, hidden by Team Bearcat. So that was a neat excursion for our family, and we're going to continue exploring Raccoon Mountain. So see you in a bit. Okay, we are going back to the car, but we've had a really great picnic lunch out here. Just amazing, like there's nobody out here, and it's just height of fall color season. Really nice picnic areas, as you might be able to see behind me, and glorious fall color, along with some really nice trails. I don't know, we might hike them a little later, we'll just have to see. But anyway, great fall color, great family time, and some really fun picnic lunch. That's what we're doing right now. Just beautiful fall color here in Tennessee. We, as I said, really enjoyed our picnic lunch. Left that area, now we're descending the mountain, and we are going towards the actually going down to the Tennessee River, down to that level. You know, the overlook that I showed you, we are going to be going down to the Tennessee River at that point and seeing that. So, said beautiful countryside, really enjoying our day out in the beautiful fall colors. Okay, we are now at the bottom of the river. You can see something out there. I don't know if that might be where the water gets pushed out, but just gorgeous. Really neat being down here by the bottom of the river. Remember I was telling you that I wasn't sure what that thing I showed you was? There it is, deflector cells and a fishing pier, reducing water turbulence. To eliminate a potential hazard to navigation when water enters the river from the Raccoon Mountain powerhouse, a series of deflector cells were installed opposite the intake/discharge tunnel, which, by the way, I think I just showed you up on the upper reservoir. And these cells, or pilings, are strategically placed to reduce the surface velocity of both the water leaving the tunnel as well as the water entering the tunnel as the upper reservoir is filled during pumping operations. 3 32-foot diameter cells are located directly opposite the intake or discharge tunnel. 16 additional cells of the same type were installed closer to the main river channel. A further precaution was the installation of a curtain wall between the individual cells, preventing boats from entering the area. This unusual structure offers sports fishermen access to some of the finest fishing of the Nickajack Reservoir. Because of rapid fluctuations in the water level, fishing is not permitted on the upper reservoir. Yeah, let's go check this out. Okay, that's just up where however you say it. Down now at the water level. I'm like literally just 1 or 2 feet above the water. It's really neat to see the cliffs, that area up there. Of course, there's some nice things to keep you safe, or attempt to keep you safe. That looks like where the water is let in or out. If I go over there a little bit more, I can show that to you. That's a really cool spot. Like some sort of little dam here. I said, I forget what it was called though. Okay, here it is. One thing that's kind of interesting, I don't know if that's where they're releasing the water or what. That's really interesting. And then right there, the water is actually let in or out, which is really, really cool. And we just drove a little bit more on this main road. I don't know what in the world this is, but it's some piece of machinery they use probably around Raccoon Mountain here to make the water and make electricity, which I thought was really, really neat. Well, this about sums it up for my video here of Raccoon Mountain. I've had a lot of fun with my family fall break to spend some family time, explore all the awesome machinery, how TVA makes electricity using the water here, and got to see some gorgeous fall colors, find 2 caches, an earth cache and traditional cache. Just have a blast, a lot of fun here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out my blog at www.historicalgeocaching.blogspot.com for links to the caches or challenges or anything else mentioned in this show, as well as a bunch of other shows, and just about anything that's history or geocaching related will be featured on there. And so yeah, as always, this is Geocacher TN Photobook signing out, and I'm having a blast with the best.